So hello and welcome to another CrowdProperty.com funding opportunity. Today we're looking at the factory, Church End, Markyate in St Albans, AL3 8PY. Now CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. Now the borrower on this particular project is Churchview Property Limited, and their company registration number is 11525184. Directors being Alistair Cooper and Michael Labrum. The professional team on this particular project is Churchview Property Limited. They're appointed Andrew Morrison to manage the conversion of this project. I'm delighted to say that I'm now joined by Alistair Cooper and Andrew Morrison. Hello, gents.
Hello Andy, good to be with you. Good afternoon, it's Andy Morrison here.
So let's start with you first then, if we can, please, Andy. So you are then appointed as the professional team on this. What does that mean for you on this particular project?
Well, I'll be running it from start to finish, which will entail down to all the groundwork. I oversee everybody who's on the site. I'm there 7 days a week, and I'll also be staying on the site as a security, as I'm going to get a temporary accommodation on the site for security reasons. And anything from a plumber to a labourer, I will be dealing with them and ordering all the materials as and when I'm needed.
And you are then the company director of Churchview Property, Alistair. So tell us a little bit more about you and your background, and then we'll get on to talking about this project in just a few moments.
Yeah, thanks Andy. Well, I've been an HMO landlord for my sins for 18 years now. And I started with a single two-up, two-down cottage up in Boston, Lincolnshire, and then sort of snowballed and built my portfolio from there. I also come from a political background. I was a local councillor in St Albans for 8 years, and I worked my way up and spent 2 years as the chair of the Central Planning Committee there. So that's given me quite an insight into how planners think and how to sort of how to deal with them in the correct way to get the maximum advantage you can out of the system.
That's very useful, I'm sure, in many, many ways. And coming back to Andy, I'm well impressed with your website, handyman.co.uk. That's very useful, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. In 1998, I bought all the top domains. I could see that having a domain name was like a taxi firm owning like 5 twos. And Handyman, I bought that. It was one of the first names I bought. I also own scaffolders. So it brings everybody in, which entitles me to access to any builders that I want.
Very useful.
And if someone's looking for a good builder, I can actually recommend them through that site.
Now, we're just looking on the screen here about recent projects that you've worked on. So obviously you've done a lot of other development work as well. One of them near Luton Airport, and the other one an apartment block in Luton Town Centre.
That's correct, yes. I refurbished them with the assistance of Alistair. He dealt with the planning. And my son also, he's taken over the business, the handyman business, and he runs those properties, and I advise him and jump in and assist with him when it's needed. So then Alistair does the planning for us, and Mike Laban does all the work for the solicitors, selling them and getting the leases right and all that. So we're quite a good team,
So let's then start to look at the project we're talking about today, the factory, Church End, Markyate in St Albans. And the project's purchase and conversion of an existing commercial property is going to become 4 residential dwellings with a loan term of 15 months, paying lenders monthly at a rate of 7.5% per annum equivalent. property then at east of Markyate in St Albans comprises of a detached industrial building with accommodation arranged over 2 floors. I've got some photos to show you of the former building in just a few moments. And the property has got full planning for its conversion to become 4 units, 4 dwelling houses. So the loan facility we're looking at is £529,000. That's going to be raised over 2 phases. The first phase raise, which is what we're talking about on this webinar, is for £229,000, and then the second phase raise in the future will be for £300,000. The RICS valuation of the property at the existing site is £475,000, and RICS have estimated the gross development value to be £1.075 million. The initial loan to value being 48.4%. The amount owed at the exit based on the gross development value is 52.5%, and the loan term is for 15 months. Now, first charge security is going to be provided as registered at Land Registry. So Markyate itself, as a village in northwest Hertfordshire, has a population of just over 3,000 people according to the 2011 census. The village lies near the junction of the A5183 Watling Street, which is formerly the A5, and the B4540, which is for Luton and Caddington. The village is connected by several bus routes and is 2 miles west of junction 9 of the M1 motorway. Luton Airport Parkway Station provides a link to London St Pancras International. That journey time about half an hour. London Luton Airport is about 6 miles to the east. It has a village school in Markyate, a range of local shops. There's all sorts of services, leisure facilities, as well as large public open spaces nearby. And the property fronts Church End and provides 2 off-street car parking spaces, whilst immediately to the west is a pedestrian underpass which then runs under the A5183 and directly to the village centre. That will take you about 5 minutes if you want to walk it. The property comprises a 2-storey detached former commercial building which is constructed of solid masonry walls beneath a steel frame roof. That's to the front section, and there's a pitched and slated roof to the rear. So the property then benefits from planning consent. The reference number is 4/00064/19/LPA. That's from Dacorum Borough Council. Permission has been granted for the change of use from the commercial unit to become 4 residential dwelling houses. The borrower intends then to convert the buildings and then sell the units. The loan is a maximum of 15 months, minimum of 6 months, and the loan is targeted to start on the 24th of January 2020 to coincide with the legal completion of the purchase of the property. First charge security will be held as registered with the Land Registry. So here's then a location map for you showing where the factory is. On the left hand side is a general view looking at where the CrowdProperty flag is pointing, just on the A5184 there, not too far from junction 9, junction 10 also not too far. That's both of the M1 motorway. On the right hand side you can see a little bit clearer as to where it is actually in the village of Markyate. Here is how it looks currently. This is the former commercial property in its existing condition, and you can see how it looks right now. But we've got an artist impression for you as to how it's going to look, and that's the proposal there, computer generated images of the original plans. They've changed just slightly, but not a lot from there, but we'll get the team to talk us through. How has this changed then, Andy? You're the person for the construction. What's altered from this original computer generated image that you had?
Well, everything you see stays the same. It's just the door on the side of the building, the gable end, that will now be moved to the first window. So the 4 entrances will be all on the front.
So that'll be
very
there.
well with it. Sorry, yes. That'll be exactly there. So it'll be just a copy of the other ones to give people the access, because the planners weren't too happy with it being on there. They want to keep it as a nice gable end, which we agreed with. It was very nice.
And of course, it's quite a difference, isn't it, between the 2 buildings as it is now and how it's going to look. It's quite a stunning difference.
Oh, this is a greenbelt area. There's a cottage behind it, a big called the Homestead. There's a small friendly garage next door, which he's going to develop anyway next year, and he's already approached me about that. And it's just going to be a stunning development, and I see it as retirement and for the retired and semi-retired, because there's nowhere in Markyate, because that's how I've been in Markyate 30 years doing work for people, you know, and there's nowhere for the retired, and this is fantastic. They've all got good access. It's a really exciting project. I'm looking forward to it.
So let's then look at the floor plans that are proposed. These are 3D version of those floor plans. On the left-hand side, we've got the ground floor. On the right side of your screen is the first floor. And I see that they're 2-bedroom. One of the bedrooms is downstairs and the other bedroom is upstairs.
That's correct. What we've done, we applied for 1-bedrooms at the beginning, just because it was prior approval. Then we approached James Gardner, who was the head of planning at Decorum, and he was very impressed. And we said, look, we'd like to now go for 2 bedrooms. So we put in for that 2-bedroom planning only about 8 weeks ago to update it. And we'd done a pre-planning application with him, which he wrote back to us and was very pleased with what we'd shown, and he agreed that he would be favourable to that. There's been no objection so far. So them bedrooms, instead of being a lounge upstairs, or on the ground floor, on the upstairs, instead of being a massive lounge, a long lounge, we have a bedroom on the back, so they make 2 lovely bedrooms.
And of course you've got your kitchen diner downstairs, your lounge upstairs, so it's still got a 2-tier aspect to it as well.
Oh yes, and these kitchens and diners are so big. They're so spacious. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and the size. I don't like putting people into pigeonholes. You know, I want to give them a good home and a good quality build. And this is ideal for me. I can't wait.
And might there be, I don't know, I'm just looking at the future plans, but might that lounge be able to be converted into a corridor at the top of the stairs, and maybe the lounge becomes a 3rd bedroom?
Yes, that's possible. That's possible, and you could do. But I see the marketplace for semi and retired, because once the retired, they don't want the 3-bedroom. We're not looking for family people around here to get mortgages. There's a gentleman up the road who works. He's with the Philharmonic Orchestra, and I got very friendly with him. And just before I started the project, he'd already moved out of the area and got a retirement home. I traded his in, and that's one of our ideas as well, to put someone in here, give them the opportunity in here, so they can downsize and come here and be quite comfortable. So, you know, it can be 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, but the 3 bedrooms, I think it lowers the value. It's too pokey. Sorry.
No, good comment. We're looking now at the side elevations, looking at the front, the rear and the side. What can you tell us about this?
Well, as you're passing down the road, the A5 on the way towards the motorway, that's the building you'll see. Everything will be treble glazed, and it'll have a lovely texture on the outside with paved floors, and there'll all be oak doors all on the front, and all the windows will be wooden and oak. So it will be a stunning building. We've got the embankment that goes up to the side, which you can't unfortunately see here, which would all be landscape. We've spoken to the highways, and they're going to give us a peppercorn rent on that bankment, so we can actually make it as part of the thing to just give it a beautiful look looking out of those windows. And I've already I'm a bit of an animal person, you know, like animals, and I've already got squirrels and everything out the front. It's just a delight, you know, to come to work in the morning and look out the windows. They're all out there.
Lovely place to live.
Yes, and for the squirrels.
Of course. So this is 4 units. 3 of them are going to be the same size at 65.5 or thereabouts. One of them just slightly less at 65.2 square metres. But unit 4, quite a lot bigger at 82.2 square metres.
Yeah, indeed. That's it. It's Alistair here. Yeah, that's the end unit. Yeah, I mean, we had considered actually pushing that one to 3 bedrooms, but again, as Andy's just commented, I think the general market here, the prime market, is going to be downsizers, and they'll really benefit from they'll appreciate the additional living area. But of course, that one actually lends itself really well to having a home office as well. So it will benefit those sort of still active but retiring.
Yeah, sort of future-proofing it for them for when they are ready to retire, which is very
Indeed.
useful. So here's an overview then of what we're looking at on this particular phase. The total loan facility is £529,000. It's going to be raised over 2 phases. RICS verified current market value is £475,000. RICS have also verified the GDV to be £1,075,000, with the estimated conversion costs being £379,000. The first phase, which we're looking at here, is for £229,000, and the remaining loan is going to be drawn in stages upon the completion of the independent monitoring surveyor report, with the initial loan to value being 48.4%, loan to GDV excluding the interest being 49.2%, and when you add in the interest at 7.5% per annum, it's going to become 52.5%. Remember, this is a maximum loan period of 15 months, with the loan targeted to commence on the 24th of January 2020 to coincide with the purchase of the property. Now, the exit strategy, remember, upon completion of the construction works, the borrowers are going to either sell or refinance and hold the property, and to protect people investing in this project, it's going to be secured by CrowdProperty with a first charge security against the property. So it sounds like a great project. I'm sure that you're both looking forward to 24th of January when you can both sort of start the project in its earnest.
Indeed, Andy. Yes, we're very much looking forward to it. It's we were lucky enough to secure the property on a long stop completion, so we've already added significant value by the addition of the planning permissions that have currently been granted. So yeah, that's why we're able to keep the loan to value down to such a sensible percentage. So yeah, we look forward to welcoming investors on board and getting going with conversion work. Just handing you over to Andy.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this job. And anyone who is investing, who lives in the area, just love them to come along and see how I work and see how I run my site, how clean it is, how good the people I've got around me. And they'll just love the project. It'd be exciting for them. I'd love anyone to be involved. Welcome to come along. There'll be a little cafeteria in the back as well.
Well, that'll be a nice invitation. Thanks very much indeed, Andy. So thank you, gents, for explaining all about this particular transaction. The next steps then, please, are to make sure that people understand the loan. It's important you do your due diligence both on the property and on the development team as well, and then decide how much you would like to lend, and you can go to crowdproperty.com to pledge on launch. What will happen next is that CrowdProperty will conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your very own online e-wallet, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So thank you for watching this webinar. This is the first phase raise for £229,000, please, for the factory, Church End, Markyate in St Albans, AL38PY. Thank you for watching this webinar, and we look forward to you joining us again soon here at crowdproperty.com.